Hi, this is Shoma. Happy to be back. Happy New Year's to all of you. I hope everybody's okay. So, where I was on segment 4, I was saying finally my father started finding out everything. When he started finding out everything, he found out that my ex-husband was living together with someone else. With the segment 5, today I'm gonna tell you after that. While he was living together, the lady, she works for a big company where she makes a lot of money. She used to bring money for him, and they both were living together. She was doing all the chores for him, cleaning, laundry, cooking, just like a wife, even though they weren't officially husband and wife. When his parents forced him to go back to overseas and marry me, that kind of destroyed all of his plan that he was making. But anyway, after the lady, which is his partner who he was living together with, found out that he got married in overseas, and he came back, and she started asking a question, and he told her the truth. He showed her the picture of me, and then she pretty much moved out. Well, then my ex-husband family has been telling me mental torture with different ways, telling me and my family also that my son is established in USA. He has a house, a land, business, money, everything. Your daughter will be treating like a princess over there. She will be staying like a queen. She doesn't have to work. She doesn't have to do this. My son worked so hard for years to put his feet strong. So your daughter, when she go there, she doesn't have to do anything. Nobody knows about it. What they are saying, we think it's truth. So we were like, okay, at least whatever the disaster life I'm seeing here, I might not have to see it over there. After that, with all the news is that coming from here to there, all community people are saying things to my dad. And my dad decided it like, okay, it is a huge mistake. It was a huge mistake that she's with him, and that nothing they can do. They cannot get me back. So I have to pretty much live with it. But they asked me what I want to do. I said the decision's supposed to be taken before, not after marriage. So, the way it's going, it's going to be exactly same way it's going to be. So, if he comes to pick me up, I will go with him. And you guys are pressuring him, and I don't think the family is taking it a positive way. They are torturing me, telling me things that I don't want to hear it. I wasn't that much old to take that much mental torture, because in my family we don't have that type of situation ever. But anyway, after that, he had applied for me, and he went to bring me from overseas, and my family caught him and asking a several question that time. And order to prove them that the marriage is real, he married not because of his family. He married because he needed to marry me, and there was no roommate or living together partner. It was people are saying all the stuff because he has a lot of enemies. Blah blah blah. You know, like how people say things. Anyway, after that, he made me pregnant. When I got pregnant, the family started telling me that this isn't a good idea, but because my family is pressuring them, and that's why it happened. And now their son is going to be in big problem because he has to put me into the insurance, these, that, and with the pregnancy, if I go back to over USA, there will be a big problem for their son. But I wasn't understanding anything. I've never been to USA. I don't even know what they are talking about. But torture is torture. I didn't even know what to do with it. He was telling me that because of my family pressure, he had to come to overseas to pick me up with a lot of jeopardy. He has a lot of bill pending. He's on a lot of debt, and it's all my family's fault. So I have to take money from my family, or get my plane fare from my family, or do something to cover his losses. In this case, I didn't know what to do because I wasn't going to my family. I wasn't going to my parents' house, and I didn't have any way to ask more money from my family. Not even in 1 year, we both of the sister got married, and it was too much pressure for my father anyway. And I was the little one in the family, so daddy had to spend a lot of money. And asking for more money, I couldn't do it. So they gave me an idea that my father gave me all the gold on my wedding, that make sure I sell those. So whatever the money comes out, and that would help him out to, when he comes back to overseas, he can pay off couple of the debt he had. So they took all my gold. I had one small ring, and beside nothing else, pretty much. And then my father found out before even I left the country. My father found out that he sold my my father's gift and everything that my father gave it to me, and started more problem. Here I'm pregnant. They are telling my family that your daughter is pregnant. You should be happy. You should not be worried about these things. What's she gonna do with all the gold over there? There is no way she can wear it anyway. It was hard decision to do that. Maybe she's taking some safety, and I couldn't open my mouth and tell my father what's going on in there. But anyway, I went to the American Embassy to face my interview to come in this country. The first time in his marriage time with me, he didn't tell me anything about his past or his previous wife or anything with his lifestyle. He started telling me in front of the embassy that if they ask you a question, what's your husband's first wife's name, why they got divorced, why he had to marry second time, why he had to do third time, and I'm like, excuse me, I don't get it. He says, well, I just had to do it, you know. There was a reason to do those things. Not that I was living with anybody. It Marriage is, I believe, it's a something that people do from heart, and that's you. The dialogue was good. I mean, obviously he was a kind of singer, kind of a not famous or anything, but you know, he knows how to convince women. um so I didn't have any option. I'm right in front of the embassy. I have to come out from that country. My father was getting too much torture from the society, and if I stay with my in-laws, I am going to be more mental torture. So my feet were stuck in the air, that either I follow his rules or either I finish everything. If I finish everything, I wasn't strong, enough to live by myself. Um, Anyway, everything happens to be embassy didn't ask any question. I didn't have to answer any question. Not that I remembered anybody's name or anything, but I heard what he was saying, and it was inside of my mind. I came to my older sister after the interview, um, and it was the same city. I went to my older sister's house. I started telling my older sisters about this. My older sister saying, well, what's gone, it's gone. You can't bring it back. He's telling you all it is. At least he's honest today. He's taking you to USA. That's the bottom line. I wasn't sure she's saying positive or negative. I just felt like what my sister was saying, maybe like when the child don't get any toys, and finally after punishment they get the toys. That's how she was talking to me. Like, finally he's taking me to USA, so now I have to forgive everything, whatever he's doing or whatever lie he's saying or whatever lifestyle he has, I have to live with it. Anyway, I figured that out, that I cannot get any support from nobody. Just forget it. Drop the matter. And I was going with the flow. He brought me in this country. Happens to be he's a rich guy. Happens to be he has a lot of money. Happens to be I am gonna be with a silver spoon. But the day I got in USA, the picture was totally different. He was living with 3 other roommates. There was no extra plate for me to eat my food. No extra cup or no extra glass. He barely pays his own rent. Now he brought a wife from overseas, and the wife is expecting. How he's gonna deal with this? Then he went to overseas to get me. He quit his job. Now he doesn't even have a job. He's torturing me from the first day to the last day. Every single day I was hearing this, because of you, because of you. Anyway, stay tuned for tomorrow. Those who wants to hear more, please press the subscribe button so you can hear the next day. Thank you all for giving me support. That's all for today. Have a nice day.